definitely is indeed one of the most beautiful seas in the world. So Adriatic is basically the bay of the Mediterranean, and across we've got our sea neighbor Italy. So along this coastline, you have some 1,250 islands, islets, and reefs, which makes Croatian archipelago second largest in the Mediterranean after Greece. So that means miles and miles of beautiful sand, pebblestone, rocky beach, whatever you're into, whatever you prefer, you get to find here in Croatia. In general, we describe the country because of its special beauty and because of the fact that it has a little bit of everything basically. Beautiful coastline, beautiful mountains, beautiful plains. We describe it as the place that God was keeping for himself. Because if you observe it in the light of the fact that we gained our independence very late, and it happened, as you know, in the war that was going on, that was raging at the end of the 20th century. So if we observe it in the light of that, that is why we say and call it the place that was God keeping for itself, and then eventually He gave it to us. Uh, so, as I said, we've got plenty of beautiful islands along the coast. 66 of these are actually permanently inhabited, and the others, there are many more that are periodically, mainly throughout the tourist season, throughout the summer season, of course, when it's the busiest time here at the coast. So Croatia is a very popular tourist destination, and Dubrovnik is a crown jewel of that tourism, if I may put it that way. Because, of course, the most important sector of Croatian economy indeed is tourism, and the Dubrovnik is the crown jewel of it. This beautiful city, medieval city surrounded with these monumental walls. Basically, the city itself is one big monument. It's a popular stop for the cruise ships as well. Now, there's just one, but usually you can, throughout the summer season, you get to see like a couple of these anchored here at the port of Dubrovnik. And soon we're gonna see this beautiful city from above. You're gonna have a panoramic view over this beautiful city, Dubrovnik, or the youngsters would probably know it under the name of the King's Landing as well, because Dubrovnik represented the capital of this imaginary world in the popular series Game of Thrones. So it's been filmed here in Dubrovnik. So you have a plenty of Game of Thrones sites, but Dubrovnik has its rich history. It is the city itself is not that big. It has a population of some 45 to 50,000 people, but it's got a rich history, and the old town that you're about to see is all enlisted on the UNESCO's World Heritage List. It's protected, and the most special thing about the city are these monumental walls that I mentioned that are some 2 kilometers long roughly, and their average height is between some 20-25 meters. On the mainland side they are thick between 4 and 6 meters, and on the seaside it's a little bit less, 1.5 to 3 meters. So there are plenty of monuments within the city. There are nearly some 30 churches that are squeezed in that area of the old town. Of course, the most important ones would be the Cathedral of Dubrovnik, because Dubrovnik is the seat of the archdiocese, and also and it's consecrated to the Assumption of Our Lady. But people of Dubrovnik have special feelings towards their patron saint and its church, and of course that would be the Saint Blaise and the beautiful church that is situated on the city's main square on the main street called Piazza. So Saint Blaise is very important around here. It's been celebrated on the 3rd of February, and then there is a big feast in the city of Dubrovnik. They parade throughout the city with the relics of the saint, and they venerate him as their patron saint since the 10th century. Because according to legend, back then the Venetians, they anchored their ships in the port of Dubrovnik, but they were assuring locals that they just need to resupply themselves. So here on the right hand side you get to enjoy the beautiful old town of Dubrovnik. So let me return to the story. So the Venetians came here, but they were assuring them that they just need to resupply themselves, and then they gonna continue their journey. But their true intention was to enter the city, discover, to see are there any cracks in the defense system of the city, and that is when the Saint Blaise popped into the story in a way. So he apparently appeared to the local parish priest, and he revealed the true intentions of Venetians. And that way, the people of Dubrovnik managed to defend themselves and prevent being conquered by Venetians. And then, ever since, they celebrate him as their patron saint. And then that bond between them and their patron saint even became stronger in the 17th century, at the second half of it, when there was an earthquake and fire in Dubrovnik, and among the other buildings, the Church of Saint Blaise was severely damaged and burned. And though the other statues from the church were melted down because of fire, the silver statue of Saint Blaise remained intact.
Wow.
And then that also had a huge impact, and as I said, it even strengthened the bond between them and their patron saint. The feast of Saint Blaise is also part of a intangible culture of the world protected by UNESCO. So, as I said, the city is one big monument. Unfortunately, the city has been severely damaged in the past war by the Serbian aggressor that were bombing the city from this hill that lies above the city. And though there have been UNESCO flags all over the place saying that it's the cultural heritage of the world, but still, unfortunately, it didn't stop them, because